Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Sandwich Island Social Network on the Porch, Southern California's longest running virtual gathering of Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart. And I am so delighted to have two of my Sandwich Island Social Network ohana over here that are near and dear to me, and these are two wahine that I love dearly, all the way from Hawaii Island, coming from her VIP secret location, Pualalia Hanamaikai. What's up, Pualalia?
You can tell everybody I live in a container house. Go ahead. I do. It's great. It's a trip. Unfortunately, I need another one of these just for my clothes and shoes and handbags, but that's okay.
It's a Matson liner container over there, and
actually, this is a Pacia special. Pacia special. Some people pronounce that company wrong. They call it Pasha. The family name is actually Pacia. But this is a Pacia special.
The Pacia special. It is very spacious in the Pacia spatial.
For me, yeah. Wow, so glad to be on the porch. So good to see all you folks' faces. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here, Pualalia. And let's see, just jumping in just now, I want to welcome Annie Kelly. Hi, Annie. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. Full house tonight.
Uncle Bobby Nalawai in the house. What's up, Bobby?
Man, it must be VIP night.
Absolutely. And real special tonight as well is another of our circle here in the Sandwich Island Social Network crew over here is Kahi'au Clark. Kahi'au, what's up?
I missed
the VIP section.
Coming in from the valley. No halau tonight.
No halau tonight.
Oh, okay.
So I said, what shall I ever do tonight? Go see my peeps on the porch.
Well, like the honu always finds its way home, man. It never forgets home. And so I am so delighted. And Pualalia and Kahi'au in separate conversations this week were reflecting on the three of us have been on some wonderful journeys and some wonderful adventures with the Sandwich Island Social Network over the years. And I haven't had an opportunity really to thank Pualalia and Kahi'au really from my pu'uvai, from my heart to the both of you. Mahalo for all that you have done. And we look forward to 2022. It's going to continue to be a very interesting year. We do have some things that will reveal itself as the months go by, and we'll share with all of you. And believe me, all of you on the porch will have the inners, as we say, the inners on some of the things. Tips. The insider tips, baby, on some of the things we have.
Inners, not innards.
Well, you guys will be the third to know. What we
make that clear.
We'll save we'll save the gizzards or the innards for Marty Burns, because Marty Burns likes tacos with the different the Mexican tacos and the sauces. We'll save that for you, Marty. Oh my goodness! I don't know what we were doing. We were talking about something, Marty, recently. Was it us, Stan, on the Baboose crew? When we're talking about food and stuff food that we weren't going to eat. Oh, the balut eggs, the duck eggs.
Oh, God. We always go off track on that. I don't know why.
Right? And remember,
all comes down to food.
And we had a whole session, you remember, where we talked about food. And
how could I forget? How can I forget? We went back to eggs like 4 times. Out with the eggs already. Come on, let's move on. Those eggs keep coming up.
I think because it's so far extreme of what people actually eat.
Yeah, that's true.
Keeps on coming up. Yeah.
And so, the comedian Joe Coy, who is a part Filipino himself, will say, "Would you guys get over it? We eat so many other things. Would you get over the balut? We eat I'm so tired of jokes about balut. Forget about it." Okay, And he said, Filipinos, we have such a great cuisine, but every time you mention Filipino food, everybody just goes for the balut.
Yeah, but those same people cannot live without lumpia.
That's true. And Keone, it's good to have you on here. Did we interrupt your birthday party tonight? Anything?
No.
No. Are you sure? We don't want to get in the way of
We're-
a romantic evening maybe that you had.
Easy,
planned?
easy,
Ooh.
easy.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Easy.
I am
Easy,
Keone. I'm just asking the
Easy.
question, Keone. I'm
easy.
just
Take it
asking.
easy.
I'm just asking.
Just take
Everything's
it
cool.
easy.
No.
Yeah, he says no, let it go. It's
Well.
no. He might have some seeds later on. Let it go.
He doesn't
let
kiss
it go.
and tell, Uncle. He doesn't kiss.
Right.
A box of chocolate. A box of chocolates, maybe.
With seeds in it, yeah, no problem.
He's not
That's
gonna tell you all his player moves.
Okay. Yeah.
I gave her this. I gave her this for a
Oh!
birthday present. She's really happy. Really happy.
Well, I was gonna say something, but I cannot say it.
That is good stuff, right? That is good stuff,
Right,
right there.
yeah.
Oh,
Brought out the big guns.
now I must tell you, Alan Akaka, right, was here last week, and last week Monday, and we did our little remote right to down there at Bamboo Club. So he presents me with Hawaii's own macadamia nut shortbread cookies. He goes, "Hey, this is a makana for you," and I said, "Oh my goodness." And I just opened it up, and TK and I, after dinner, I went pop it open, and I think it just melts in your mouth. It's so wonderful. These are macadamia nut shortbread cookies, right? So what I did was I was telling Alan about the cashews, Keone. So I went down to last week, and Kahi'a will know this. I went down to Trader Joe's. I went looking for it because I wanted to send Alan Akaka a couple cans of those cashews. And I'm at the Thousand Oaks TJ's, and I'm walking around, and I don't find it. So I asked one of the guys, and he goes, "No, I've never heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about." I go, "Wait, I know I'm not hallucinating." He asked the other girl. She goes, "No." I said, "Gunfund it. I'm gonna call. I gotta call Information Central. This is my Hawaiian Google. I gotta call Kahi'au. Kahi'au." I just texted. So she goes, "Have you talked to Mohala?" I go, "No, I talked to you first." So she sends me a picture of it. So I walking around the
Because I
corner.
know. I better put a pause. I know he went in there and could not explain what he's looking for.
You want the cashew inside the red can, the
Yeah.
Not
But
a
take a
tea.
the kind with the
picture.
coffee kind, the baga jump in your mouth. The baga is addictive.
We could say, "I want this. I'm looking for this."
So she sends me a
Red
picture.
and green.
That's right.
She sends me a picture, right? So I show it to the girl, and she goes, "Oh, hang on a second." So she's gone for a little while. She comes back. She goes, "I'm so sorry, sir. That is seasonal. That's seasonal. The next time I look at it on our order, we've ordered it for November of 2022 to bring it in
Wow.
before Thanksgiving. So you won't find it. Whatever is sold out in the stores, we're not ordering." I go, "Oh man." So then Kahi'au goes, "You should get in touch with Mohala because she's going to be on her way to work." And I said, okay. I get in touch with Mohala. She goes, "Uncle, I think I have 1 or 2 cans left. If I have it there, it's yours." I went, "Oh, thank you." So now we're on the hunt. A couple hours later, she gets in touch. She goes, "I'm so sorry. I
Aw.
don't have it, but I have this." And it's a bag of it. I don't have it here. It's the same thing, but it's almonds instead.
It's not as good.
So I said, "Let me have a couple bags." She went drop a couple bags off at the house the other day. And of course, I had to sample. I had to pop that bugger open. And Keone, you're absolutely correct. I mean, it's good.
It's good, but not as good as.
Not as good as the cashews, bro.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna offer my can as
No.
a sacrifice.
Oh.
However, it was open.
There you go. That's it.
Hey, Tashiro, Stanford, welcome back. Are you back on the Big Island of America, or are you still back in the Aina
No, not yet.
Still at my dad's house.
at your dad's place? Okay. Well, we're glad that you're here. Glad that you join us. We'll be missing you guys
Yeah.
as well.
Almost Paul.
Yeah. So, is it any kind of services with the family or anything, or no, for your dad?
Already done.
Already. Okay.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. And I'm sure taking care of the rest of his affairs and stuff is a whole nother a whole nother task for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Before we go around the on the porch neighborhood here, I just wanted to share with you. Clinton Lee lost his wife maybe about a week and a half ago, and actually I found out about it because I'm a Facebook friend with his daughter, and it just popped up, and it said, "I'm gonna miss you, Mom." This happened so suddenly. I went, wait, what, man? I read through it. And I went, oh my goodness, so I clicked on it, and there wasn't anything else on there. And I remember it was a Thursday morning, I remember. So I called up Clinton. And I said, Clinton, I just, and he goes, yeah. He said it was so sudden. We went in it was a non-elective surgery. She didn't really have to have it. It was kind of like on her bucket list. It needed to be done, but there was no emergency to have it done. So she went in, and apparently they had some complications on the operating table. And within a short amount of time, she was gone. And he said, this came like a bolt of lightning. This was so sudden. We expected to go home. He says, I'm at home right now. I'm looking at her slippers. I'm looking at her clothes, putting on a bed and stuff. And I'm expecting her to walk in the room anytime now. It happened this morning at 3:00. And I was talking to him about 10:00 on Thursday. Yeah. So we talked for maybe about an hour, and I just had a prayerful conversation. And he was very, very, obviously very, very sad. And I talked to him yesterday, and nothing is, he doesn't have anything planned yet. He's looking at something like what was done for Sarah Yamaguchi over at South Bay. He's looking at that as a possibility. You who live in the South Bay know that South Bay Community Church, where Sarah Yamaguchi also had her services. Yeah. But I will let you folks know, or as soon as we get information, we will share it with you if there's a celebration of life. But everything now, because of the surge and the pandemic, everything's kind of all put on hold. But so I expressed to him from all of our Sandwich Island family our condolences. And I also, someone asked me for his address. I forgot who it was. Was it anybody? I think Kai'ao, the address. Yeah. So if anybody would like to have Clinton's address, you can DM me or Kai'ao and get that if you wanted to send a card, to Clinton as well. I'd like to have it. Yeah. And something he said to me yesterday, he said, I'm so blessed because I have my daughter and my granddaughters. They're over here. They're so busy in the kitchen, and they're doing all kinds of things. And he said, I have friends dropping by, they're bringing food, and people are dropping by the house. And he said, I feel so unworthy. I'm not really worthy of all of this. I feel very uncomfortable, for all this attention I'm getting. And I said, Clinton, you have given so much of yourself. You don't know this. You're playing bass with Chica's group. You're there supporting it. You are there with the groups. You've supported Sandwich Island Social Network, and over the years, you've given so much of yourself, And so now these are makana that's coming back to you because of all the wonderful things, many gifts that you don't know that you've given to people. So when you get this makana and you get these gifts, just say mahalo, just say thankful. He goes, I have to remember that, because I feel so unworthy, And I said, that's kind of like how our island people are, yeah. People thank us, that's nothing, But in reality, the gifts that come in many times are ways in which those that we have touched in our lives are now offering us their gifts, yeah. And so, just as gracious as they, as the gifts that we have given, we accept those back by simply saying mahalo, thank you so much, And he said, I never really thought about it in that way, but in reality, it's so true, yeah. Because local style, we're like, no worries, man, right? Because that's how we brought up. We're not brought up to be all taran kind. That's not us. That's not our culture. Our culture is very, and we're taught by our own kupuna and by our parents, right? So just shared a little bit with Clinton, and he thanked me for that perspective, because I need to think about that, and that's I have to learn to be thankful and appreciate the gifts that are given to me, because people are stopping by the house and I don't feel comfortable. Why am I getting this attention? And I said, because they loved Kathy, and they love you, and they're coming to share their makana with you now, and so. Yeah, so small kind why muck, just mucking tears coming down at time too. But I wanted to share that with all of you too, yeah. And that's how we are as a family here, on the porch, where we give our gifts, Yeah. Okay, so Uncle Larry,
Hey,
I'm gonna say one word: football.
Oh man.
disappointed with the Rams.
Oh.
Too bad they had to be a loser on that second game. That's one of the best games in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
And too bad somebody had to lose.
They played their hearts out, man. They played their hearts out, man.
Amazing game, amazing.
Yeah.
But the Rams, I don't know. I got a funny feeling about them. They don't have the killer instinct. Never had. I followed them for 60 years.
Yeah.
Way back when they first won the NFL championship. Yeah, I think it was 53 with Van Brocklin, them and all that. But the 49ers, watch them. They are unconscious. They are unconscious.
Yeah.
Can you imagine beating the Rams and then beating Green Bay and then beating Dallas? That's three pretty good teams, man.
In Green Bay's house, in the snow.
Yeah, amazing.
In the snow. That's it.
And they don't have the best quarterback, but he's capable.
It was snowing. It was fluttering at first, and then all of a sudden coming more. And then you couldn't see the field. I'm like, oh, that's football right there.
They're dangerous. And remember, they beat the Rams, or
that's
maybe
it.
I should say the Lambs.
Yeah,
the Lambs in a row already.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
Oh,
Well,
crazy.
Uncle Larry, I hope you're
Had it with the
disappointed
Rams.
again this weekend.
Man, I tell you.
hey, Marty. Don't hold back. Just tell us how you feel.
A couple of things. I've always had I love football because my two brothers, are part of football and whatever. Anyway,
You were a cheerleader.
yeah. Long time ago. But I decades. I have favorite quarterbacks. Frank Gifford was one. Joe Montana has been one. I really like Joe Montana.
Oh.
I'm a 49.
Roman Gabriel. Yeah, I get it.
No, not so much Roman Gabriel. However,
Filipino Polar.
this decade, I love Josh Allen.
Oh.
The Bills. He was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, he's up and going. 6'5", man. Amazing. The way he runs.
Yeah.
Man, he's so
He's not
agile.
afraid. He's not afraid.
Not afraid
to
at
run.
all. Yeah.
No.
A lot of guys 6'5", they look like a skeleton running around, But this guy can haul, man.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's fearless. I watched him. He's fearless.
Out of 32 teams, when you got the final 4 now,
Yeah.
anything can happen. Hey, he ain't going to surprise me if Cincinnati goes all the way. Because Burrow is a dangerous quarterback, too. That kid can play. Anyway.
They knocked off number 1 already. They knocked off number 1 seed. So
Yeah. And funny, the opening of the playoffs for the number 1 seeds, both of them lost.
Both of them lost, right? That's
Okay.
right.
All right. Stop this conversation about seeds because Keone just looked up.
Oh no.
So stop it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, be careful
Okay.
about that seeds.
Okay.
The shocker to me was the Titans. I didn't see them going down.
Oh.
That was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Ah.
That was a low-scoring game, too. Amazing.
Well, I wanted to recognize the elephant in the room and get football up front because we're watching the news tonight, and those tickets are I think they sold out? I think they're sold out, huh?
Yeah. Well, what I read in the paper to us in the internet, the Rams are not going to sell tickets outside zip code or whatever because the last time had more 49ers fans than LA fans. LA is a funny town. You're not like in Chicago or New York where you have A lot of homegrown people for generations. Grandfathers went to the games. Over here, you get people from all over the world, such a cosmopolitan city.
Yeah.
That when I had these Ram season tickets, a lot of times I see a big turnout from the other team's hometown.
Yeah.
All travel well. But LA always been kind of cosmopolitan in that case,
Well, the Rams, LA really hasn't had a football team, right, for a number of years, and so it takes a while for them to build their fan base and their loyalty and whatever's, and so there's still that residual over here, even though they've been back. What is it been 7 years now? Have they been back 7, 8 years, or has it been that long?
Maybe a little less, yeah.
Little less.
But the thing is, I was surprised when they announced that they're going to sell tickets. Any tickets that are not sold are going to be sold, and you have to have your zip code and proof of something. I forgot what it was, but I looked at it, I said, and they said the NFL, and I didn't know this. They have done that before in other cities or whatever. It's not the first time it's going to be done.
Didn't know that.
Unusual, but I guess they think the Rams might need some fan support.
Yeah.
You're still going to see a red in that stadium, I guarantee you.
That's right. That's right.
Rosie has joined us. Hi, Rosie. Welcome. Good to see you. I don't know if you recognize that handsome handsome garut right next to you on my screen.
He's at the bottom of my screen.
Ooh, Stanley.
Hey, wait a minute. Dead outside.
On my screen, who's next to me is Kevin Wiedemeyer.
Oh, I see. Well, that's another handsome. That's another handsome garut over there, Kevin Wiedemeyer.
Before we clear the football thing, can I mention one thing?
Sure.
So this past weekend was the Polynesian Hall of Fame in Honolulu, which was an awesome event. And then, of course, the Polynesian Bowl, the high school all-star game. But watching that game, and then when they did the presentation of the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame inductees, and I wasn't aware of this, they mentioned Wiedemeyer, Charlie Wiedemeyer.
Charlie, yeah.
And I guess his wife, Lucy, was there to accept the induction. And of course, then I immediately go to Kevin. I say, "Hey, they're inducting. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's one of your family members." And Kevin said, "Oh yeah, this is another one of my uncles."
Wow.
So in the Polynesian Hall of Fame Museum now, there are 2 Wiedemeyers enshrined.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Herman was our assistant high school
autograph.
Yeah. So that's Herman and Charlie then, right? Are both in there.
Herman and Charlie.
Herman was on Hawaii 5-0, the original, and he was our high school assistant coach at Kamiki High.
Wow.
And I remember as a kid, I was about 4 or 5 years old, everybody was talking about Herman Wiedemeyer. And I still remember he went to St. Mary's. It was all-American.
St. Mary's.
Way back.
Portuguese school.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
I was telling Kevin now, at PCC is a permanent museum for the Polynesian Hall of Fame, and it's very nice. It's interactive. Each player has their own little area that presents, them, and it's really done well. So, now there's going to be 2 Wiedemeyers in that museum. And I was kind of, I was like, oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
On that Dallas game, 49ers beat them. The guy who blocked the punt or made the touchdown, his name is a Polynesian name. I looked it up, and even Haiti said,
I think
what's
it's
his name?
Tongan.
Yeah, it might be Tongan, but one of those Polynesian names,
Wow.
And he was involved in that block punt, and I don't know if he recovered it. Maybe somebody else made a touchdown, but he blocked a punt or vice versa. There was a big play there.
Nice.
Well, I don't know if any of you guys saw the game on Saturday night. It was broadcast live on CBS Sports Network. But all those, it was unbelievable, the number of Polynesian kids that are going to D1 college that played in that game.
Wow.
And that's, just the sheer numbers. And some of the kids, they're reading off, 3.7, 3.8,
nice.
4.0. And here's this collection of Polynesian kids all headed to, I don't know, they must have had, I don't know, 80 plus kids, combined on both teams. And I mean, just to hear so many of them off the D1 schools was unbelievably exciting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear about the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame over there in Laia. And that's where they have all of that. And of course, not to be, and I don't want to take away any of the shine from the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame in Laia. I have to say that on the Porch, we also do have our own Hall of Fame, and we have our own Wiedemeyer on the Porch Hall of Fame as well. And ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Wiedemeyer from San Diego. Welcome.
Keep the name going.
When I go back to Hawaii, they're gonna be tree Wiedemeyers in the Polynesian.
That's right, tree, bro. I'm gonna stand over there right next to Uncle Herman and Uncle Charlie. I'm Kevin Wiedemeyer. Gonna get three of us, bro.
Yeah.
That would be really cool for you to go there, Kevin. Right?
Yeah.
And to take pictures of there, because that would be very cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, he used to have Mongo Charlie used to have a display in the Aloha Stadium.
Oh.
But since closing the bug, they moved the display out, and it's supposed to be a Bishop Museum now.
Maybe all the items from that display ended up at the Polynesian Hall of Fame. Maybe
could be. They said they moved it to the Bishop, so I don't know.
Bishop Museum.
Yeah.
Oh,
so probably in storage someplace, or they moved it there to hold it. So they moved it Polynesian Hall of Fame. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty awesome, Kevin.
Man, there.
Yeah. That is very, very impressive and pretty awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Marty. That's awesome.
They're working on the Portuguese Hall of Fame. You knew that, right?
Oh, is that right?
A lot of people ready to get in, though. The line is long. The line is long. I just long line. Long line.
We got 3 people, huh?
They get tickets, though. They get tickets.
They do have tickets. Tell us about that, Stanley.
The captain of the USS Never Sail, he's in there. Because they told him never wind the windows down, but he wouldn't wind the windows down, and it was tragic. It was really tragic. But
so he's in there.
He's definitely. I salute him right now. He's in there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who else? What kind of tickets they get? Are they swap meet tickets?
No. You guys don't even understand. These are tickets for $1. They got in there. It was millions of tickets sold. They got in for $1.
So they were swap meet tickets.
Yeah. I don't know about swap meet, but this buggers were nicely colored ones, so you could tell. Yeah.
Stanley, I heard they were paying people to take the tickets. Is this true?
I cannot confirm that, sir. I did not. I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
I almost said I didn't inhale. Oh my God, I'm sorry, John. But yeah, I wasn't around there when they sold that tickets because
Got it.
Yeah.
I went to the Portuguese Hall of Fame. I never buy a ticket. I just talked my way inside.
See, there you go.
That is amazing. While we were talking about all of that, Auntie Hetty went to fold her clothes.
Yeah, I didn't finish my washing today.
Auntie Hetty has a basket of laundry, and if
I thought it was arts and crafts time. I'm like, am I losing out or what? What's going on over there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now the towels need to be folded in a particular way. I want you to notice this.
Let's fold them in half. No worries.
Particular way.
These are bathroom rugs, okay, and so gotta fold them correctly so they fit.
Man.
Yeah, I like that.
Is she gonna give class pretty soon? Because I gotta get my pencil out.
The class.
I get my pencil and paper out here somewhere. I look for them. My goodness. Wiedemeyer, tell us, what's been going on in San Diego? How you feeling? What's been going on? News from your son? What?
Dude, I don't even know what's been happening in San Diego. I've been in the house or in the bed most of the time.
Okay.
And, I wasn't feeling well for a while. I was starting to support stuff, but we're okay now. Shoot, I'm here. But,
okay. All right.
What's happening down here? I gotta go outside one day and find out.
Okay. Well, wisely so. You've been kind of lying low and waiting for this surge to be over with, so it's a little more safe to go out, perhaps.
Oh, that bug is scary.
Yeah. To be sure.
I thought I had COVID, and they put you in this. When you go to the ER, they put you in this area with all the other COVID people. A big area too. Oh, the freaking hospital was packed with COVID people. So they put you over there, and then when I get to the ER, they said, "Oh, you don't have COVID." I said, "Well, shoot!" I said, "All these COVID people now, what's gonna happen?"
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hospital is not the place to be if you're sick. That's for sure.
Yeah, I get plenty sick.
They're like, we're not sure if you have COVID, but if you go in this room with all the people that do have COVID, we can be sure.
Yeah, for real, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds like COVID. We're gonna put you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go save you a seat in the museum. Don't worry, Kevin. I got a seat for you.
Got it. So Kahi'au, you were
one, right?
Kahi'au, you're dealing with this every day still, and you've been doing this. One of our frontline heroes, working every single day.
I'm just a small cog in the whole machine.
No, but well, perhaps, but still, there are many cogs that make the machine work there, and without you, it'd be working a lot slower. Tell us a little bit about how this the surge has affected what you do.
Well, I think more to Uncle Kevin's point, when we first started the pandemic, when the pandemic first had us, we had the treatment tents. There was like a MASH 4077 unit, and if you drove on the 405, you probably saw them on campus. And so the idea was kind of like a negative pressure room. If it was outside, you could dissipate the oxygen better, so easier to treat people. So we did that at first, and we think it was manageable. And then, the inclement weather in LA tends to be either too hot, too cold, too windy. So then they moved that into like a bigger, more permanent, like a 4077 MASH unit in the back. And eventually, when we went down, they were doing it back in the ER again. But I think right now the focus is on vaccine hesitancy and educating more people. A lot of people are still on the fence about what they want to do, and their opinions and how they feel about their health care. And people who are vaccinated, we're trying to encourage getting them boosted. I mean, whatever side of the fence you're on, the facts are that even though more people are getting COVID again in the surge, less people are dying from it. So, people are recovering or having lesser symptoms.
Yeah.
So, which could be good for everybody. So vaccine hesitancy is still a big hurdle to overcome. On top of getting your flu shot, pneumonia shots, and all the other vaccines that we have. Sometimes it's backlash, because sometimes people who were on the fence about flu shots are now like encouraged now because of COVID. They think it's going to give them more protection, or it throws them the other way where, see, I told you vaccines are, this, that, and the other, and throw them on the other side of the fence. So it's tough. It's tough. People.
And do you find that because we've been dealing with this for almost the last 2 years, people are kind of getting a little complacent, maybe, or getting a little COVID fatigue? And
I definitely think so.
Yeah,
I definitely think so. I think people. I can't even believe it's been 2 years. When you said it come out of your mouth, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It has been 2 years.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of that. Some people have normalized, like, this is just the way that it is. And I think some people have been really deeply affected by it.
Yeah.
There's so many, I think we were talking the other night about this. We don't know what the long-term effects are going to be emotionally and psychologically about the pandemic. Forget about the virus itself, but just the emotional and psychological effects that might happen as a result. So, we're always trying to encourage reaching out, connecting to people. Mental health is always a big thing, trying to reduce the stigma of mental health and realize that, there are people out there that can help people.
Yeah.
Crisis hotlines, specialists, people who can help veterans who are in crisis or in need for something like this. So it's just getting the word out. Getting the word out, letting people know, if you don't know a veteran, you never know who you're going to run into. Maybe someone at the market or the bank or the gas station or, stranger. You don't know.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Good point. Well, thanks for sharing that, Kaya. That's that, and it's good we talk about that here, even on the porch, right? Because on the porch is also a form of communication between all of us, and good, positive feelings, and a sense of community that is also strengthening to our heart and helps us with our own mental stability. We can laugh about it and whatever, but it is seriously a wonderful way in which we keep contact with each other. Yeah, for sure.
I get most of my referrals from people either at church or through hula, or someone says, "Oh, I know somebody who works at the VA," and "Oh, this is my neighbor's cousin," or "This is my coworker's dad." So it's like, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Is as long as everyone knows I work at the VA, somehow, they find me, or I can refer them to someone. I might not know the answer right then and there, but I always try to get back to somebody who does know. And we have so many talented, passionate people at the VA. It's an honor to take care of our veterans. So that's what we do. That's what keeps us going.
Well, what did you say? 7 degrees to Kevin? Was it 6 degrees?
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You ever heard that?
Yes, I have. I'm talking about 5 degrees of spam to DC. I'm just.
But hey, you know how they talk in the news how the hospital is always crowded, all full up, no beds and stuff. When I went, I had to wait. I got there about 10 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't until about 12:30 at night, after midnight, before they was able to get a room. Because
wow! Are you kidding me, man?
Wow! Wow!
That's so crowded there. I mean, so much. All the beds were taken, so they had to wait.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's hard for patients.
Yeah.
Triage everybody to, people who really need to get admitted, to decide who's going to go where. Lack of beds. It's tough, and it's tough on the staff too. We've never experienced this before, so it's everybody.
Yeah. I was talking with Andy Bumatai this afternoon. His brother Gabe, who lives in Arizona, passed away. So I had called Andy to offer my condolences and stuff. And so we were chatting for a little bit. And, Andy's name came up with Pualalia and myself on Friday when we were talking with Stephen Espinola. And last time I had seen Stephen, it was Andy and I 2 years ago, actually, in outside of San Francisco, where Stephen Espinola played. But and I want Pualalia maybe in a little bit to tell us a little bit about the story of Sakura and how it also encompasses a dear friend of ours, Puni Patrick. So I want to come over to Pualalia in just a little bit, but I wanted to welcome back Tuila in DC. I know Tuila, you'd been under the weather, and you mentioned headache. My cousin in Maili had mentioned on one of my Zoom calls, my family Zoom call that I have on Sunday nights, said that she had tested positive and she was fine, except for this headache that was just so, and her eyes, bright light it hurt her eyes, headache. And so she had her dark glasses on. She said, I'm not trying to be cool. It's just that the light just hurts my eyes. And that is, and so they're finding out, different symptoms, Kahiao, right, on this Omicron. But you had a headache, right, Tuila?
I had a sinus headache. I was
sinus. Okay, yeah.
I was all plugged up, then the nose would run and run and run, and my head was just. I felt like I needed to tie a towel to keep it all together.
Yeah. And these
booster shots Tuesday, and we've been under the weather since Tuesday.
Yeah. You've been back to work during this time too, DC, or you've been being home?
Oh, no, I've been working.
You've been working.
He did take a day, one of the days off.
Yeah. Just to make sure I was okay. And the following day I was off anyway.
Yeah.
So actually, the older you get, the classic word is older you get.
Yes.
Kind of slows you down a little bit.
Is that right?
Wow. Let me write that down.
Hold it down.
Let me write that down. Where are my paper?
You get to look forward to
Oh, I'm already there, Andy. Thank you.
My third Monday, actually, I started hula for beginners at the the Huntington Beach Senior Center. I come walking in and there's a lot of, our senior citizens that are there.
Yes.
And they're kind of looking at me and, talking to the kumus, and they're wondering, why does he need instructions? But, they don't know that the older you get, the body don't want to move. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. Enjoying my third session. So
nice.
And Cora Tauipu is conducting the classes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Very good. Very good.
I'm getting back to the basics.
Yeah.
And he comes home and says, "Oh my uhas! Oh my uhas!"
Well, if you need any tips in between there, I won't mention the person's name, Stanley.
Let it go.
Stanley.
Let it go.
Stanley used to be with a halal called.
There we go.
The halal o chunky okole was the name of it.
There we go.
Halal.
There we go.
And
here we go.
Stanley's going to deny it.
Yeah.
But,
to the hill. That's right. That's right.
Stanley's halal was the only one that gets a letter from the Mary Marnock people every year. Please don't come.
We didn't want to take all of it. That's why, it's like, okay, I understand. It's all right. Just have Bubba was with us and so was Patrick. So that's all I got. Just telling you right now, I wasn't the only chunky there. So I'm telling you what, we had no clue, and we had pants on, but we still had no clue. So just saying.
Stan and I joke about that on our Boo-Boo's crew every opportunity we have on that. But we're glad that DCU and Tuila are enjoying a good measure of health. You guys are being cautious, and that's really important.
And because we weren't feeling good, they laid my uncle to rest in New Orleans on the 14th. He passed away New Year's Eve at the stroke of midnight.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So he had full military honors, but because of the situation with the holidays, my cousin told all of us relatives, if you can't drive down here, don't come.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it on an airplane.
Yeah.
So of course we did, we didn't go, and I was concerned about flying.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially what you hear on, with the way people are behaving.
Well, not only that, the airlines, when there's a 75-cent airfare one way from here to Washington D.C., they're begging for the people to get on the plane. $3.50 to fly from here to Miami, right. And that's round trip. Okay, that's so. Yeah, and even the cruise ships, right? We were watching news tonight, and they're coming on, and you get all these onboard credits. You get this, you get that, you get this, they get that, and they're still. And I was going, oh my goodness, this is not the time to do cruises either, But people still are, for some reason, they're making those choices. So,
But I felt, I was battling back and forth. Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay?
Yeah.
And so I was talking to my cousin, and she says, I said, I'm a little concerned. She says, then don't fly. If you and DC can drive out, fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 3-day drive from here.
And the weather's been pretty crazy too, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, safety was the better part of valor.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're glad you're home safe and with us on the porch. We miss you guys when you're not with us. And absolutely. And we miss DC as well, because he always brings a certain flavor to the porch. And Bobby Nalawai is smiling over there because he's going, okay, what flavor are you talking about?
Coconut vanilla.
Not exactly what I was thinking, but
what's going on, Bobby?
We're finally a COVID-free house.
Okay, I was just going to say because Amy and you guys have been quarantined in section off the house, right?
Yeah, for about the last 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah lives on her own, and she's a teacher. When they went back to school, second, third, or whatever it was, anyway, the staff and the students had to test, and Bellflower High School had test site on campus. So she got tested in the morning when she got there. Went off. They had meetings all that day, and so she was in their meetings and that. And I can't remember. I think she got an email or a text or something, and found out she had no symptoms, but she tested positive. And quarantine, so quarantined for a whole week and a day. Anyway, she went back, got tested, and she tested negative. And they've been so short of teachers. Right away, they said, "You stay and go to your classroom."
Wow.
So she did. She called us and asked us if we would bring her some lunch. So we did. So that was her episode. But I think it was a couple of days later after that, around the 11th, Amy came home from work. Amy lives with us. She came home from work not feeling good, and she had a nasty headache and some congestion and stuff. So she found a place. It was like she gets off work at 6. She found a place that was open till 7, and over in Norfolk. So she went over there, got tested. This was on a Wednesday. 2 days later, she found out she was positive. So she, she holed up in her room, and Judy and I decided, well, okay, we better go get tested. So we went Saturday and go get tested. And Tuesday morning, I woke up and had a email from Kaiser, and they said I was negative. And Judy, I didn't say anything to Judy. I just waited. She got up and she was in the bathroom, and she poked her head up. I'm negative.
Yeah, good, you guys.
So we just let you know. Yeah. Amy stayed quarantined in her room. We brought her whatever she needed, all that stuff. Finally, I can't remember what day. I think it was Friday. She got tested again, and she was negative, and her symptoms have all pretty much gone. So going back to work tomorrow.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. Bobby.
Reached some normalcy here in our house.
Yeah. Nancy was very brave, and Nancy headed out to see Henry Kapono, and Keola Beamer, and his lovely wife Moana Lani. Tell us about the concert, Nancy.
The concert was great, but one of the people I was with ended up getting sick that night with COVID.
Oh my goodness! But must have been.
One of my partners in the TNR group had gotten sick a couple days before that, and I had a doctor appointment already scheduled for Thursday, and I said, okay. I saw her Thursday. Sunday she tested positive. Saturday she got sick. And he said, you got to get tested and quarantine. And then right after that, I found out that this one person that was hugging me and sitting right next to me, I found out that, and her husband didn't even tell us till after I posted, hey, you guys, I've been exposed. Man. I got tested. I don't know if you want to get tested or not, but I just want you to know I've been exposed. And he said, oh yeah, Joanne got sick too, and she got sick Sunday night, which was the night we were all together. I'm like, oh my God, you don't even tell us.
Yeah.
Wow. He's like, thanks for telling us, Nancy. That's really nice of you. And I'm thinking, yeah, pretty nice if you were equally as nice. Wow. And so anyway, I'm feeling fine. I'm just,
that's good.
So afraid of this because I have a chronic cough anyway. And so, so I'm just like so afraid of this, and all alone, no one take care of all these crazy cats. So I'm becoming a hypochondriac that every time I sneeze or have a headache or anything, I'm like, oh no, is this it? So anyway, I'm just waiting on the test. In the meantime, the doctor told me, you're not going anywhere. You stay home. You do nothing.
I know I've said this before. I remember when pandemic all started, and I had a conversation with some friends of mine, and they said, have you heard of anybody coming out with this COVID thing? I think it's just the media. It's a media hype over here. I don't know anybody. Kamaka, do you know anybody? And I said, no, I don't know anybody, but I just see it on the news, and I think it's just blowing out of proportion, right? Now we fast forward, right? We fast forward. I've been through all of this. And in my head, I think it's a flip on this. I think that there's going to come a time and there's going to be anybody that was not touched by this virus in some way. It's going to be an anomaly. I think all of us in some form or fashion at some point will have a brush with it. And hopefully because we've boosted up and vaccinated up, the symptoms will be minimal. Where we won't end up on a ventilator, we won't end up right. We'll have enough immunities built up so that we'll have a headache or we'll have a cold, and we'll be down for a couple of days like we would have a cold. But I think that time is coming with the vaccines and with the boosters and stuff. I just have that feeling.
Sitting so close to you, I don't want to catch anything. So I got my mask on. Just want to let you know.
Very
I know
wise.
you. I gotta get my mask, so I gotta watch. And we're in such a close area. It's not 10 feet from where. Oh wait, they mean in person. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm fine then. I find it. Okay, at the 10 minute, this way.
Portuguese safe distance. Yeah,
The
Portuguese safe
concert was
distance.
really good.
Telling you.
The concert was excellent. If you
That's
guys
like
never seen
Nancy.
those
That's like
two-
saying Nancy. That's just like saying. Aside from that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Exactly.
No, the show was just those two together. Have you ever seen them together?
Myself, no, I haven't seen Keola and
Oh my
Capone together.
God.
Yeah.
The first time I saw those two together, I said, that should have been the Keola and Capono team all along. I mean, their humor together. They're just, they have such a perfect connection. The two of them
Sweet.
are great. So every time they tour, I make sure I never miss it.
Yeah.
Are you a fan, Nancy?
What?
Are you a fan?
I don't use that word.
There's other words, but I'm trying to be nice. Are you a fan of their music though, or
I'm a
from like
fan.
way back, or yes?
Oh yeah, I've been.
Oh, okay.
I've been following both of them since I first went to Hawaii. I fell in love with that music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, our hopes that you stay healthy there, Nancy. You've had that kind of exposure out there, but that caution is going to pay off, no doubt. Annie Kelly. Annie's in the house. And,
Hi.
hi there. So you've been still going in a couple days a week. Will you volunteer still yet, or you've been
Oh, yes, I still do on Tuesday mornings.
Tuesday mornings? Aha.
Right.
So, and how's that going? I mean, what kind of exposure do you have, or interacting with people, or?
Luckily, the office is a big office. There's only 3 of us, well, 4 in there, and we're spaced really far apart. I use the secretary's desk because she works in the afternoons 3 days a week. So they spray down at the end of every day, the disinfect. And then I still disinfect when I walk in, and then disinfect when I leave.
Yeah.
So everything we touch, so our desk, computer, file cabinets, copy machine, those kinds of things. So but their director did get sick, and so did her husband. So, but they're upstairs in another building. So they're not in the room with me. And whenever somebody walks in, then we all put our masks on when we have a visitor. But so far, so good. The thing is, this happens no matter where you are. If somebody sneezes or coughs, you're like, you kind of jump back or try not to breathe or whatever. But yeah, it's going to take a while for us to get over that. When, if there's any normalcy in the future. But yeah.
Yeah, one way to clear the room is to start coughing, right? If I walk into a room and you can't find a seat to sit down or whatever, you just start sneezing and coughing. You will find you'll find an empty seat there. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. But I remember getting so burned out with Zoom last year. As things started to open up, it was like couldn't open up soon enough. But now it's like my best friend. So
yeah,
I'm in new love for Zoom.
Have all of you noticed that it seems like our friends who are the non-vaxxer aficionados are the ones that are getting sick?
It's an unfortunate fact that so many of those that are in the hospital now are folks that are not vaccinated. Yeah.
Because I've got longtime friends that absolutely refused. They felt it was a conspiracy. And they said, and if I get sick, I said, what about you infecting other people? Is that fair? And they have been so sick with this.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I have no sympathy. I'm sorry.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Stay away from me. But I mean, it's a callous attitude. But I'm so sick of listening to the anti-vaccine garbage, and then these people get sick. I thought, well,
yeah. You hate to wish anything bad on anyone. However, we're all responsible for our own actions, and in many cases, that has been the case over there. Talking about being responsible for his own actions, he's been quietly finding the bottom of the can of cashews. Keone, have you already reached the bottom of that can, or are you still working on it?
It's all gone. All empty. But I got 2 more stashed away.
But you better
Not for long. You just gave up your secret, Uncle. Not for long.
Keone, you better be careful because you cannot get that until Thanksgiving. So you better ration
That's
that bugger
right.
out, man.
Yeah.
If I was you, I would open both cans, spread them out on the table, count each cashew, right? And divide it by the number of days until Thanksgiving. And that's going to be
Uh-oh. Torture. You eat half of them just counting.
When I went in to buy them, they had great big stacks,
Yeah.
of boxes and boxes and boxes. It looked like it would last all year, but they're all gone.
God, people found out how ono they was, and they said that was it.
When you go to the checkout line, you can see, most of the people had 2 or 3 cans.
Yeah, easy. But you're right. The almonds just don't do it.
Right.
They're good, no question about that. But the cashews, yeah.
Cashews wow, they're so good.
Yeah. So you and sister been being cautious out there. You guys too. What's your secret of staying healthy? You've been masking up and.
Oh yeah. We were supposed to go out for the wife's birthday tonight, but we decided not to, just to be safe.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And I know folks were getting kind of excited about the fact that you can order those home tests now, right? And I think maybe
you can find them.
If you can
I got
find
15 emails from friends saying, you can get them for free now.
And so it's supposed to be by the first of the month. They're supposed to end up, but I don't think we're going to see them for a while. But here's an interesting point. I was talking with a friend the other day. He bought one from, I don't know where he was, CVS or whatever. So maybe it was Costco, I think. I was talking to somebody else about they had them at Costco. They were running out of them. And he tested positive. And he was like, oh, man, and so he waited another day and he tested again. It came out positive. So the wife said to him, and he said, you better go down, make an appointment or something, go down to one of those centers. So he did make an appointment. I don't know whether it was Kaiser or someplace. He went down, he got tested and he was tested negative. So therein lies that, and I don't know, Kahiao, if you can speak to that or not, but or anyone else.
I was going to, yeah.
Yeah, he tested, like I said, both times he tested positive at home, but when he went to the center, he tested negative. You go, whew, man, he was feeling a lot better.
I mean, off the record, not as a government employee, just me.
Right.
Because I don't speak for the VA. I just want to put that disclaimer up there. But I would say it's just like a home pregnancy test, right? Things can happen. It's the transportation of the test, the temperature of the test. Was it in a place that was too hot, too cold? Were there other chemicals? Did you have something on your hand or something else that contaminated the sample? I mean, there's a reason why labs and lab techs make so much money and do what they do is because they're experts. They know what they're doing.
Sure. So,
you got to factor all these anomalies and all these different variables with home testing. When people take one test, it comes out positive. I would suggest they go to a bigger testing facility. I wouldn't keep on taking all their home testing because they're probably going to do the same thing over and over again. So,
Sure. That makes sense.
The home testing has never been accurate. Never.
Yeah. So okay. So Stanford can attest to this. It's just there's too many variables in a home environment.
Yeah.
In your
They have some companies that actually you can do your PCR test from home. So there's an outfit in Monrovia. They have, oh gosh, how many? So 20 systems to run tests. And I forgot but you can order it, and it's real simple to do, but that it's a PCR test. So the PCR test runs about 85 to 90% accuracy versus a home test, which is I think it was 55%.
But then is it cost prohibitive?
I think it's kind of expensive. I think it's $50 for the PCR test.
To me, that's another health disparity between people, demographics, right?
Sure.
People who have insurance, people who don't, people who can get reimbursed, people who can't, people who can afford it, and people can't. So I mean, I could talk about this for hours. That's a great health disparity for me. People who can't get the test if they need it, people who have multiple generations in a house who need it, like kids and elderly people who are hoarding the tests, who are buying them. I mean, it's bananas. It's crazy.
The best bet, I mean, when I had to go take a test, went to this one clinic, and then they give you the options, and then the insurance covers it. So, that kind of helps as far as costs.
Sure.
But not everybody has that kind of insurance coverage and stuff. But if you want something that's accurate, always go for a PCR test.
So the one that Costco sells for $40, is that a PCR test?
I'm not familiar with.
Oh. I was wondering if it was a better test than the ones they give out for free.
Yeah. Don't know.
Mario always said I wasn't the father, so I'm happy with that. So I just move on.
You what?
When Mario always says you're not the father, I go, oh, thank you so much, and I walk up the stage. That's the only test I got to take, so I'm okay with that. So
Stanley tested positive for being pregnant, and
that's right.
He called me.
I'm not the one. Just saying, just letting you know, you are not the father. I don't think I was. Okay, I'm off the stage. All right, fine.
And they looked at me. They said, "Not the mama, not the mama." So,
just saying,
just stop.
And also, are they giving that test in other languages? The instructions. You know that
it ain't gonna be in Portuguese, that's for sure. Because
I do believe I've seen one of those tests, and the paperwork inside of it is multilingual. They've got got Spanish. They've got it looked like it was I don't know if it was it wasn't Japanese, but it was some looked like it was Asian. Maybe a lot.
Like 7 pages in that thing.
Yeah, Vietnamese.
It's all different kind of languages.
But the bug is so small you cannot read them.
Right.
Yeah. Dr. Ying, welcome.
Aloha, everybody.
Welcome right here. I just want to switch gears just for a moment here as we get into our time together, and I wanted to have Pualalia share with us a little bit. There's a new release out by Stephen Espinola called Sakura, and there's a little story behind that, and you're going to be seeing that on, and I think we'll share that on our Facebook page as well, so our friends can enjoy that song. Maybe give us a little bit of the mo'olelo behind that beautiful song by Stephen Espinola, Pualalia.
Yeah, it actually today, if you go to Stephen Espanola's Facebook page, he put up the link to pre-order it, I believe,
nice.
if I'm not mistaken, on Apple Music, iTunes. But almost a decade ago, unfortunately, Stephen and his wife April lost their son, Phoenix Kahanu Espanola, and he was only 1 year old. And it was a big loss for them. as it would be for anybody, yeah, because it was very sudden. They attribute his passing, if I'm not mistaken, to SIDS, which is sudden infant death. And then one of my favorite people in the entire world, Puni Patrick, she was compelled to write a poem. She's very good with her prose and has written a lot of songs for quite a few musicians out there in the world. But she wrote this poem for him, and he was so incredibly moved that a melody kind of came into his head, and then the song was born. Of course, the timeline of that, I was going to give him this kind of shade on Friday when we talked to him. I was like, wow, after 9 years, that melody finally came to your head.
Yeah.
I was just joking. He does get a lot of that, but it's a beautiful, beautiful song. And the sakura is the cherry blossom. You're very familiar with that. And in the mele, in the words, their son Kahanu is likened to the sakura flower because, the cherry blossoms only bloom once a year. They're a very delicate flower. They don't stay on the trees very long. They rain down and they're gone. And it's hard not to get emotional talking about that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful song. And I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, just
I'm
want
to start crying.
No, thank you. Just wanted to share this. This was a real special mele, and with the Oli that was written by Puni Patrick. That he said the music came to him because it was so special, right? And he'd been holding on to this for many years, and it had to be just right. And all of a sudden, the music came to him, and I believe what he was saying that when he put it together and sent it to Puni, she was saying this is perfect. This is just absolutely beautiful. And so I just thought it was a beautiful mo'olelo, a beautiful story about this piece of music, and by just this wonderful, wonderful musician, and so talented. We were so blessed to have him on our Aloha Friday show. He plays bass, he plays ukulele, he plays slack key, kiho'alu, and he has this amazing leo kie. Am I saying that correctly for falsetto? Right? Leo kie. Yeah. His falsetto is chicken skin when you listen to him sing. If you go to Stephen Espanola, Espaniola, Stephen Espanola, and there's a couple of YouTube performances on his page as well, and the story about that really, really good. Another one too, Pulilia, is last week Thursday was also the anniversary of the death of King Kalakaua. And I had forgotten that King Kalakaua had died in San Francisco. I don't know how many of us know that, but
where Stephen Espanola lives.
Right where he lives. And so he had talked about the name of the hotel was what was the name of the hotel? I'm trying to think.
The Palace?
The Palace?
The Palace.
The Palace, right? The Palace hotel that for many years had a plaque or a display of some things about King Kalakaua there that many people, tourists or whoever that would walk through the lobby or walk through that area would be educated about this Hawaiian royalty that on his travels was staying at the hotel, and he passed away there at the hotel. And the hotel has since been renovated, and some of the things have they don't know where it is. And I think Stephen was going to go find out what happened to it, and if enough people find out what happened to that. But of that, Stephen also on his last project has what's the name of the song that Queen Kapiola?
Ipole Manu.
Oh, Ipole Manu.
Ipole Manu.
And it was written by his wife, Queen Kapiolani. Yeah. And it I know you've danced to that song. You've hula to that song, right, Pulilia?
It's been many, many years, but yeah, the thing that gets me like right in the feels about that song is because this song was just such an outpouring of love. It's such an amazing love song in and of itself. It's a beautiful mele. But then when you start to realize that Kapi'olani wrote this because Kalakaua was on one of his world tours and he was just gone for months and months on end. And this was her way of telling him or actually processing her own feelings. But unfortunately, Kalakaua never got to even hear the song because he passed away shortly after she wrote it. And it's so sad.
The sad part was also she didn't know about his death. So when she saw his ship come in, she was waiting on the balcony. And then when they saw, and then everybody gathered. And then when she started to hear wailing, she was wondering why. And then she saw the coffin.
Yeah, chicken skin, man. That whole story, that Mo'olelo is amazing. If you don't know the story, it is there. Stephen has some of it on his website, and of course you can reach out through the internet and find a lot of those stories that are on there. But just wanted to share a little bit of
Uncle Kamaka. Did he tell about his family background and all that? Because comes from a very talented family.
Yes, he did. He talked about his grandmother with the Debibar sisters.
Yeah, and then his uncle.
His uncle
was Nando. It was funny. For years I didn't know who Nando Swan was, but his son and I were our classmates.
Nice.
And so I used to go to the house and all that, and never mentioned anything about him being this great guitar player, or that even my classmate was named after one of Nando's teachers was Wes Montgomery.
Wow. Yes.
Nando just passed.
Yeah.
Kamaka, for anybody who hasn't seen Stephen's video and rendition of the song, it's and he adds in the chanting and very beautiful. If you go on YouTube and look it up, there's a specific video for that song, and it's his rendition is beautifully done.
That chanting with his cousin Kavika Elfish.
Elfish, yes.
Elfish, right? That's his cousin that's chanting on there. That piece, that is chicken skin. When you listen to that, you just get drawn into that piece of music. And if you haven't heard it, strongly recommend that you go find it. Thank you, Marty. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you go to Stephen Espinola's website, it's one of the videos that's on there that will direct you to YouTube and stuff. But yeah, but so such a blessing and so beautiful to be able to share those stories on our Aloha Friday video podcasts. And as you all know, or if you don't know, all of the video podcasts that we do have end up on our YouTube channel, Sandwich Island Social Network YouTube channel. And right now there's over 50. In the last 2 years, we have had the blessing and privilege of talking with just a wide variety of different personalities with island connections. Everybody from Augie T and Andy Bumatai to Kumu Mele Chun with Hulu talking about featherworks to all the way all different walks of life. Have Auntie Jerry is on there talking about her growing up in Laia and just all kinds. By the way, Stanford, this Friday, a friend of yours and a mutual friend of mine, I kind of grew up in comedy with this guy from Pearl City. Pearl City represent Mr. Paul Ogata is going to be my guest on Friday, and funny guy, brought up in Pearl City, and yes, he's older than you are, Stanford, right? Or is that what about you? Same age. You guys?
No, he's 1 year younger.
1 year younger. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. He hasn't grown. He's only 5'4" still yet. He hasn't grown.
And he used to get us in trouble.
but he's traveled so much through Asia, to the Middle East, performing for the troops. For a guy from Pearl City, he has put on the mileage, and so he's going to share stories about, from a local perspective, of his travels through the Middle East, through performing for the troops, and it's going to be a fun session there. So if you can join us at 12 noon, we'd love to have anyone join us as well. And so yeah. So Rosie, tell us something good. Tell me something good. Da, da, da. Shaka Khan. Okay, what?
Oh. No, I don't have anything good right now.
Okay. Good.
Nothing. I'm alive. Lauren's alive.
Oh, okay.
Struggling with homework.
Okay, I was just gonna.
It takes her hours, and yeah, she was exposed to someone with COVID, so we have to get her tested again.
Got it.
Second week in a row.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to grin and bear it.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Talking about not grinning but bearing it is Mr. Ken Ing. Yeah, he's bearing it under you.
Well, come on, just let me bear it all.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, God, come on, come on, come on, God.
Well, I was gonna ask Uncle Bobby, to sing one of his favorite Stephen Espinola songs.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading Uncle Bobby's comment and Kimo Williams' comment. No, Ken. I'm not going to sing this song.
Yeah, I don't have falsetto anymore. After I had that throat surgery.
Oh no,
it's
okay.
gone.
Well,
that chanting in the song was just, totally unexpected, right? I'm listening to the song, and all of a sudden, I just went, "What?"
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful,
mesmerizing, mesmerizing. Man.
Yeah.
And you can just close your eyes, and if you know the mo'olelo behind that song, and the story and all that, and I didn't know that, Stanford. Thanks for sharing that about the Queen expecting, and it would make sense because it wasn't like somebody in San Francisco pick up the phone and say, I'm sorry, the king has passed away, and she's got the phone call, right? So they had to wait. Maybe they had telegraph, maybe, or whatever, but they had, pretty much had to wait until the letters or whatever was written were put on board, right? And people got their messages that way and stuff. And so, yeah. But you're right, Ken. That song is amazing. It's just beautiful, and Stephen does it so beautifully with his cousin Kavika.
Yeah, and that Friday show just had me thinking. How many? I would have to say, like hundreds of other Hawaiian artists are right in our backyard somewhere. That I have no idea are here. Mm-hmm. It's got to be hundreds of people, especially in the West Coast.
Sure.
Who are as talented and all that stuff.
Yeah. No question about that.
Yeah.
I just saw, and was it yesterday? Led Ka'apana.
Oh.
Ledward Ka'apana, Uncle George Kaumoku, and Herb Ota Jr. All on tour back east. And if you were to look at Led Ka'apana's posting, where he is posting sheets of ice and snowbanks and just dismal cold, bitter cold. And I'm trying to think where they were. I think they're in Pennsylvania or they're someplace crazy. And they had a bunch of cities. And so Ledward posts on his Facebook page that he is by himself with his wife Sharon, and that George Kahumoku and Herb Ota Jr. returned back to the islands. And I don't know whether it's because of the weather or whether it was, I don't think it was that they were sick, because they wouldn't be able to get on a plane and stuff. So I have to surmise, and I don't want to start any stories or anything, but the weather was so bitter. You get to a point at which you say, I don't think I can do this, man. Kind of bone chilling temperatures, man, on that. So pray for those guys too. Led is still pressing on. He and Sharon are still there, and he's doing a solo performance where it was supposed to be the three of them. But the Led and Sharon are out there still going, and he's got some shows coming up this weekend. So, and Led was also one of our wonderful guests on our Aloha Friday show not too long ago as well. That was a great session too. All right.
It's been bone chilling over here at night.
What have the temperatures been, Stanford?
Oh, I think tonight is going to be like 70.
Oh man!
Oh darn!
Watch out your feet.
That's why when I go back, it's like when I go back to my house, I'm gonna be freezing. Now it's like during the day it's comfortable, and then at night it gets like I don't know. I have to I normally don't have a blanket on, but it's like, oh no, I'm acclimated.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Well, wonderful to catch up on all the football news, and the Wiedemeyer legacy continues. The wonderful visit we had with Stephen Espinola, but our evening would not be complete without a visit to Covina into the Bat Cave.
I had to look who that was. Oh yeah, that's me. Forget already. Wait, who was that? Okay, yes.
I think it was Maria.
Maria, hang on. I gotta ask Uncle Ken, did you get a haircut recently?
Yeah, I did it myself. Can you tell?
Yeah, I was gonna say you better get your money back because I'm just saying. Hey,
No, I thought he was doing a Kim Jong-un. I thought maybe
I charged myself $25.
Because the bugger stay crooked. I don't know. I gotta look sideways like that. I don't know. You never go straight across.
I know. You get the razor, you just go like this.
That's it. Well, if it works for you, then great. That's no problem.
Yeah, I gotta use a Flowbee. Actually, that's
when I go skiing. I'm aerodynamic.
Yeah, you are. Okay, take it easy. Aerodynamic.
That place, I found a Flowbee.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, Flowbees are old school. Wow.
You just dated all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's old school stuff, man. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I on again? I'm sorry. Hello. We went off for a little bit. We're back. Don't worry.
But how's your dad doing, Stanley?
It's a pain in all quality, so he's fine right now. He last couple of days he was been kind of ornery, but it's okay. He decided to take a step out last couple of days, and he came inside because he was doing yard work. I told him, Dad, you're too older. He's 88 years old doing yard work. You don't need to do yard work anymore. I'll hire a guy that come out. Oh, only the Japanese guys. Dad. There's a lot of people out there that will do the job. I'm like, I want a Japanese guy, no matter what. Okay, all right. And he gets all mad at me. Oh, so I got to go down to the Home Depot, find a Japanese guy that know nothing down there. So I'm like, Dad, don't worry, I get you a guy. And he don't want. Oh. So he came in the other day. He says, I don't feel good. Okay, well, go drink something and go lay down. He laid down. He goes banging on the wall. So what's the matter? He goes, I don't feel good. He's puffing. I'm like, oh, great. Take his pulse, and it's like I can't count that fast because it's going that fast. I'm like, oh man. So okay, take it easy. Get him a towel, put it down. So I'm right back. Get him the old school style and put the stethoscope on. And yes, I know how to do that. And shot there like that. And like, oh, and he's talking while I'm doing this. Dad, don't say a word. Let it go. And he shut because I put the towel in his mouth so he can't talk. Oh, he couldn't talk like that. Tell me, just quiet, coolly. So he was quiet for a couple. I looked at it. I go, oh, it's out of control. It was like 200 at past the time. I'm like, oh. So I give him 5 more minutes, and I'm usually not the one to call. I usually kind of like, let him get 5 more minutes and see what happens. It wasn't stopping, so like we got a call. So they came out. I knew all the guys on the fire truck came out. Came inside. Hey, Stan, yeah, it's not me this time. And we took him down there, and I guess he went to another hospital. It's called Foothill Presbyterian. And they're really nice people down there because they go not in the lobby. The lobby was packed with people. They were sitting in every other chair, but they were packed in there. So he goes around to the back side because the emergency room is in the back. And there's not that many people in there, he said. And they went to his little cubicle place and they took blood, I think at 5 or 4 or something like that. It didn't get back to almost 7. Oh. So like, okay, he was fine. They gave him something for his heart racing, and they just said he was a little excited. I go, yeah, I guess. I don't know what happened. So he's fine. He came back home. We got home about like 1 o'clock. So we were fine.
So was that like a panic attack of some sort, or
it was? They explained it, and I can't remember that technical name because I play with a doctor on TV. It's an elevated heart rate. Tachycardia, something like
is that reaction to some medication they took, or just
excited, I guess.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, he overexerts himself in the out. That's what the other one was, overexertion, because he was outside and he was sweeping up and he's using his weed eater and you know, gotta tell you a short story because I won't make it long. But he's over there with the weed eater, right? No more string. The bugger just spinning, and he's going like this. He thinks he's doing a good job. Wow, Dad, doing great. Okay, yeah. And he's like that. He picks up and goes, oh, the wire. Well, what happened to the wire? I don't know. And the wire's in the grass right there where you left it. I'm like, oh, my God, come on. So, yeah, it took him about an hour to figure that one out. So I just let it go because he was having fun out there. So
Stanley, you realize this is what you look forward to.
You know what? I take it easy right there because, you know.
it's hereditary, man.
I'm calling the yard man. I'm telling you what, okay? He's going to do all that stuff, pick up, mow, cut, blow, whatever they call it, and that's it. So, but he's fine. He's doing fine.
Good. Well, that's
yeah. I used to have a Japanese yard guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he quit and we had to hire someone.
I mean, they do great. We used to have a guy come out here and he used to take care of all the nice little plants and all the plants that Ma had. Perfectly done. And I don't know what happened, but I think he went back to Gardena somewhere down there because had his family down. No, wait a minute. Don't make me. He went back to Gardena because that's where his family was from, not from, you know. No, anyway,
my Japanese gardener just quit. He still lives here, but he just quit doing the yard.
Yeah, just like my, I don't know what happened to my Filipino maid.
That's it.
Oh no.
Oh. Nice knowing you, Stanford.
No,
nice knowing you, bro.
You're in trouble now, bro.
Tina.
Oh, let me know what the single life is like. Okay?
Oh man.
Ay.
It's cold when you come back. Now you just wait till you actually get back there.
I think you're cold now. Okay.
We always tease each other like that. So.
All right, time for class picture, everybody. On the count of 2. Where's DC? He went to sleep early.
No, he's having some tummy issues.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, everybody. Wonderful. Oh, goodness. So, I hope your dad stabilizes.
And he's fine.
Absolutely.
He's good.
To some degree, keeping active and keeping moving is a good thing for him as well, right? So not to overexert himself anyway. But
he just found the power to the TV, so I'm happy for that too. I don't have to help him. So yeah, he finally found the button.
Referring to your experience at the hospital, I got to share one thing. My girlfriend from high school, she went into the hospital because they found a huge tumor, and she got there at early in the morning. They didn't get her to a pre-op room until like 7 o'clock that night. Surgery was the next day. But she said she couldn't believe it. So they did the surgery. She's come home. She went back to have the staples out, another 6-hour wait to have the staples removed. Then she had to go in for a port because it turned out to be stage 4 ovarian cancer. And she's had a total decluttered of the house years ago. And so it's kind of odd that she's got ovarian cancer. So they put in a port. She waited 5.5 hours just to get the port put in. And then she had to be there at 7 o'clock Friday morning for her first chemo. And they finally got her into the chemo area at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Because the hospitals are so packed.
Yep.
You know, for a long time she was waiting in the hallways, you know,
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. All right, my dears. Uncle Larry, you know, I have to do one. I have to do one for Uncle Larry here before we head out. Before we head out into the pasture over here. So this guy from the Philippines comes to U.S. and he's trying to assimilate himself into the way of life. And he decides that he needs to go to the library and get a library card. So he goes to the library and it's still old school at the library, you know, no computers and stuff. And they're filling it all out by hand and stuff. So this old librarian is there and she's saying, okay. So he asks for the name and everything. And on it, because they're geared toward kids, right? You know, she says, okay, you know, so it gives an address and phone number and everything. And then she says, and the name of the father? And the Filipino guy goes, and the Son and the Holy Ghost.
Jesus!
Just sharing.
I'm just sharing. Oh boy.
Oh goodness gracious.
I sauce.
Maria Seth.
I tell you, man. All of you have been wonderful and such a joy to spend time with you every week. And we always have a good time on the porch over here. Thanks everybody for being so supportive. Kahi'au, I will see you in the morning, bright and early. Bright and early, baby. We have Kahi'au and I have a road trip tomorrow that we're gonna do. Pualalia, all the way from Kohala. Thanks for joining us. We love having you on board. And stay healthy, keep well. If anybody wants to send any kind of wood paneling, any kind of to Pualalia, she will, because the wall in back of her, this is the container wall. I want to see some core wood paneling.
It's under construction. Leave it alone. Don't pick on me. Leave me alone.
I just got a message from Stanley, said ask Pualalia about the background, so I will right now.
What a God stay with the sign.
I wasn't lying when I said I live in a container. Oh my God, did you think I was joking, Stanley Gomes?
I did. I didn't know.
Hello, everybody. The saga continues, man. See you guys on Wednesday for the Baboos Crew and Friday for the Aloha Friday.
Oh my goodness.
Podcast. Hello, everybody. I love you guys.
Oh man.
Aloha.